What is up, everyone? We are on episode 7. Ichi ni san go roku jun nana. Episode nana in Japanese. I don't know why I did that, but whatever. Episode 7 of Power Word Fail. Jumping right into it. God, I love the intro to Power Word Fail. The violin going and just Carlos talking over the violin is masterful. Fun fact, I've always wanted to learn how to play the violin. That is one instrument I've never learned how to play. So we start off. The team has met Zanzibar, and they bought a horse named Strudel from Zanzibar through the means of Evangeline. Ambrose kind of sensed that this isn't a regular horse. They find out that the Strudel is a fey creature, and he does not like his name at all. They ended up talking to the horse, and like two clops for yes, one clop for no, blah blah blah. That whole deal. The horse starts talking back to them, blah blah blah. But they're gonna wait till the full moon to just get more information on that. But let's wait until the guy said it's going to be dangerous to talk to the horse. They're going to send. They need to get into Notrthwatch to get supplies. It's time for them to re-up on some supplies. So they didn't want to go in for some reason. I guess just in case their faces and stuff were known. So they're like, here's an idea. Let's send Christopher. Let's send Christopher into Notrthwatch because he has been performing very well so far. No, he hasn't. But Christopher eagerly was like, I can do this. I can go in there and buy some horses and come back out. That is not a problem. Everyone ends up believing in Christopher's like, okay, except Evangeline. Evangeline was like, I'll go with Christopher. So everybody ends up giving their gold to Christopher, and Evangeline goes along with him. They debate a little bit about taking Poppet or leaving Poppet. I don't know what was so up with that. I mean, I guess he can play off his. I don't know. I really don't know why. It's like they can leave Poppet. He's connected to Evangeline. If something happens, Poppet will be like, hey, something's up with Evangeline. And I think that was the running idea, but then somebody was like, take Poppet. And I don't know why or whatever. But anyway, Evangeline goes in with Christopher. Evangeline talks to the city guards. And I'll tell you one thing. She's a good tipper. That day, that city guard was like, man, I can feed my family tonight. 'Cause she tipped somebody at the door, one of the guards, and I was just like, man, Evangeline tips 30%, forget 20, which I heard the 20 is not just the new minimum of tipping. Anyway, they get to the stables, and Christopher tries to buy all the horses immediately. He walks in, I'll take all your horses. And the stable keep, he horseman, he immediately was like, come right this way. A big spender. Evangeline has to talk everybody down. It's like, hey, this is my cousin from out of the town. He's a country hick, and Carlos does a really, really good country voice for Christopher. Evangeline explains the situation a little bit better. Like, hey, we just need like 4 horses. And the guy's like, oh, okay, like 4 horses, let's do. And then Christopher's like, yes, 4 horses. Here's all my gold. Christopher. But apparently 120 gold is not enough to buy 4 horses. I mean, I didn't want to do this, and I didn't want this to turn into this, but I want to fact check Carlos right here. Don't at me. Horse costs in D&D. Regular draft horse that can carry 540 pounds is 50 gold, 50, 100. Ah, yep. He definitely could not have bought 4 horses for 120 gold. He can get 2.2 horses, but not 4. I'm sorry I doubted you, Carlos. You are D&D god, and I will never doubt you again. One thing about being a DM is that you have a lot of useless facts and knowledge that you have to learn to sometimes to be a DM. Cause like, why do you know so much about horses? Well, I had to look this up for my session that's coming up. They're gonna go buy some horses, and I need to know all this stuff. And then that information sticks with you forever. And Carlos doesn't disappoint. He just seems like that dad that knows everything. It's just like, Dad, why is the moon gray? Well, that's because blah blah blah, son. Um, there's still talks of a dragon around town. We still don't know if that's Pharaoh or another dragon, but people are getting word that there is a dragon around town. Then we cut over to Team 2, Team Mongoose. Um, when Christopher tries to sell a necklace, and Carlos was like, "Let's cut over to Team 2." Uh, background music is so good sometimes that I just want a homebrew track record, and I may or may not use it. Cody, if you watch this, get me a homebrew track record to listen to. Cody, I need this. I need like a homebrew, like throw it in the merchandise and I will buy it. Just give me a CD of all the music. CD, who uses CDs anymore? Give me some downloads. Let me download an album of all the homebrew from TheHomeBrew, Power Word Fail, Sanity Damage, and World Weavers. Give me an album of that and I will buy it, Cody. Grant, make it happen. Grant, make it happen. Give Cody permission to do this. I'm pretty sure there's copyright laws and all that stuff, but Grant's a good guy. He'll make it happen. Anyway, getting off track there. The background music is real good. Like real good. Miraz and Pickles talk for a bit. There's a weird feeling coming from Miraz. Like, does he like Pickles, or is he just really good friends with Pickles? Because sometimes it's comes off a little weird. Like, okay, Miraz, okay. Ferric and Spunk kind of chit chat. Spunk thinks Zeos is a bad guy, and they need to fight him because he's the dictator of the town, and his word is law. All hail Zeos! All hail Zeos! Uh, Spunk doesn't like pants. Pants are stupid and they're conflicting. He wears robes, so Spunk doesn't wear pants ever. He doesn't like them. There's some hidden figures watching them and off in the distance, and I think Pickles noticed them, and she's like, "Oh, that's my family." Yeah, I don't appreciate them watching me or whatever, but Pickles thinks it's her family. Ferric just calls out to them. It's like, "Hey, you guys over there watching us," and I love Ferric. I love Ferric. I love Ferric. And sometimes you just have to tell yourself that, and then it's okay. But Ferric is awesome. I definitely will play. I definitely have played meathead characters. Not Ferric isn't a meathead, but I've played meathead characters where they're like, "Hey, there's some people over there." It's like, "Oh, really?" I walk over there and I go talk to them. Like, "What are you guys doing over here? You sneaking?" Uh, they introduced themselves as these hooded figures kind of walk up and they ended up talking to the group, and they introduced themselves as Cloudvan and Zalvador. I could not spell that, and what I had that spells Zanvador. Anyway, Zalvador and Cloudfang, they wanted to sneak something into the city. The group does not know what, but Mirage keeps claiming that people should know him. Mirage will go like, "Have you not heard of me? I'm the world famous magician Mirage the Magnificent. Where have you been at?" And that just makes you think like, why is he putting on airs like this? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Should people have heard of you? Why do you think people should have heard of you? I think somebody somewhere has heard of him, and then he was actually shocked, like, oh, you have heard of me. Uh, cut back to Team One, Team Alpha. Uh, Christopher and Evangeline, the shopkeeper, is super eager to take this necklace from Christopher. Don't really know what it is or if it has sentimental value for Christopher, but as soon as the shopkeeper sees it, he's just like, "Yes, I will take this. You can have all the horses. I'll throw in some hot towels. You can have some supplies. But I mean, just let me have this necklace." So Christopher seemed like very easily parted with this. So I guess it wasn't that big a deal. Evangeline kind of like struck a little bit of a better deal, but I don't feel like they knew what they had there if he was that eager to accept the deal. Just no questions asked. Uh, Evangeline wants to get in contact with Zeos. The shopkeeper instantly says, "Why would you want to do that? Zeos is not a good guy." And then he immediately recants that and reneges on that and says, Zeo is the supreme ruler and we worship him, and all hails Lord Zeos. All hails Lord Zeos. Uh, but I don't know. Like Evangeline was like, "I want to talk to Lord Zeos." You find out that Evangeline has a background that gives her the ability to talk to the local nobleman or politician in the town, and she's just like, "I want to talk to him now." Evangeline, the shopkeeper tells like, "Hey, I mean, his house is over there. You can go try his house." Um, she walks right up to his castle, knocks on the door, and the doorman answers. She's like, "Hey," and then they cut back to Team Mongoose. Team Mongoose, the people who are trying to sneak something into the city, they find out that it is drugs. They are sneaking drugs into the city. Ferric instantly is like, "You want to rob these people? Hey, you want to rob these people?" And that just took such an extreme left that they were just like, how did this go from talking to people to robbing people? And one of the things is like, they was like, "Hey, we got a buyer for these drugs," and they were like, "Who is it? Is it the people that like are starting? Is it for the for Zeos?" And they were like, "We can't tell you." So they started fighting. Well, they didn't start fighting. They're still kind of like in the debating argument stage right now. But Ferric was straight up just like, "Hey, let's rob these people. Like Christopher isn't here, so we can kill you." So Spunk says something like, "We're hero bandits. We're the anti-heroes." Um, then cut back to Team One. Evangeline pays for Evangeline. She knocks on the door. Somebody answers, the doorman there, and then the doorman was like, "Lord Zales is very busy. You're gonna have to come back another day." And she was like, "Oh, really? Because like this is important. I'm an important deal. My father's an important deal. Have you never heard of it? Angeline Abernathy of the Mornstead Abernathys, where my father Cornelius Abernathy is in charge?" And the guy's just like, "Well, 2 gold, and Lord Zale might be have some free time." So she pays him the 2 gold to go see Lord Zales. I feel like the DM sets up warnings throughout certain things to say, "Hey, You shouldn't go here. Hey, you shouldn't be here. Hey, this might be a little tougher than you think. Hey, this isn't, like let's not do this. You should probably stop. And I feel like the because all the NPCs were like, "Hey, you should go talk to Zeos. Hey, Zeos is a bad dude. Hey, do you really want to go talk to Zeos?" So, that was but sometimes it's up to the players to decide what they want to do, and that's what D&D is about. Um, Evangeline meets with Zeos. Immediately, this guy sounds like a vampire. Immediately, vampire. He is Count Dracula in disguise. I don't care what anybody says. Immediate vampire. They talk, and apparently Evangeline Lord Zeos has been in touch with Evangeline's father about something. About what? Nobody knows. He sent them a letter. He was waiting for a reply back. Evangeline doesn't know anything about it. As Evangeline was talking to Zeos and she was trying to, just introducing herself. Carlos points out there's a weird energy between Christopher and Zeos. And that's where the episode ends. What does that mean? I don't know. Cliffhangers are starting. Carlos is notorious for cliffhangers, and you will grow to freaking hate to love them. Love to hate them? Love to hate them. He does love a good cliffhanger, but that is where the episode ends. Evangeline and Christopher kind of walking out. The team over there about to fight some drug dealers. So a lot of stuff going on. This episode was moving. I mean, it was moving. They got into the city. They met Lord Zeos. They procured some horses. You find out about Evangeline background trait. The drug dealers are coming in. Pickles and Miraz. Ferric and Spunk. I mean, a lot of stuff was happening. I felt like a lot of stuff was happening, and some information was dumped. So that, by all means, if anything, if I had a complaint, again, this is what D&D is about. But why are you going to talk to Lord Zeos? I was about to say Katie. Why are you going to talk to Lord Zeos, Evangeline? I think we actually talked about this in the Discord, and she had a really good reason, but I don't remember what. So hop into Discord and ask her why Evangeline went to go talk to Lord Zeos. But I don't remember, and it's still crazy to me. It's still like, let's go talk to the in-game boss now. So, I mean, this episode was real good. From the music, from the information, from getting stuff done, from the character role play, I will straight up, even though there wasn't any combat in this episode, I will straight up give this episode a 10 out of 10. 10 hit dice out of 10. The episode was really good. I don't have any really gripes besides player gripes. But besides that, I mean, yeah, that's about it. 10 out of 10. Good job, guys. I need to figure out. I do like the one episode a day thing. Maybe I need to kick it up to 2 episodes a day because I want to really like catch up to where they are at now, and do more reactions versus and predictions. But yeah, I hope you guys are digging it. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And if you got any advice, comments, or questions, please drop them down below. Hit that subscribe button as always. Cody, I will be waiting for that album, and don't disappoint me. The people, don't disappoint the people also. But as always, you matter. You're important. I've said this all kinds of wrong. As always, you're important. You matter, and you are loved. You guys have a good night. Bye.